Hello everyone. Today we will be going to discuss question number 3 from today's bi-weekly contest from LeetCode, bi-weekly contest 32. So the problem we are going to discuss today is minimum insertions to make a parenthesis string balanced. So what we meant by balanced parenthesis in this question is we have given a string s and it only consists of opening and closing parenthesis. So a string is balanced if and only if the opening parenthesis comes before the closing parenthesis and the opening parenthesis is followed by two consecutive closing parentheses. In generally we have only one consecutive one closing parenthesis, but in this case in order to make a balanced parenthesis string, we just have to make sure that one opening parenthesis is followed by two consecutive parentheses. So here but we don't have to check if the string is balanced or not, but we have to check how many minimum number of characters we need to add in this string, such that we in the end the string is a balanced parenthesis. For example, in this sample input 1 we have this string. Okay, so this I got first opening parenthesis, then we have one more opening parenthesis, then it is followed by two closing parenthesis. So this string is balanced, but in the end this opening parenthesis have only one closing parenthesis, so we need to add one more character, that is one more closing parenthesis, so that this whole uh, string gets balanced. So we just have to output 1 because we just need to add one more closing parenthesis. So here we have this string is already balanced because this opening parenthesis followed by two closing parentheses, that's we output 0. So this problem can be solved by using similar approach which we used in order to check if the string is balanced or not by using stack. So but in this case we just have to make sure and aware of some special cases, so we'll be discussing on while implementing the solution. So first we take a stack of character st and we iterate from left to right in a string. Okay, as dot size. Okay, now if we have two cases, if the ith character in the string is an opening parenthesis, okay, and if the ith character in the string is a closing parenthesis. So if we got an opening parenthesis, we do just nothing, we just push it in the stack. Okay, push it into the stack, so s of I, and we just do I plus plus. Now if we got a closing parenthesis, so if we got a closing parenthesis we can have two cases, that is if our stack is empty, or if our stack is not empty, Now let's first discuss about the case when stack is empty. So when a stack is empty, that means we don't have any opening parenthesis for this one. Okay, now this can be the case and we also have to make sure that the closing parenthesis we have should have two consecutive closing parentheses, that we have to just to check whether the I plus 1 character is also a closing parenthesis or not. What if the I plus 1 character is an opening parenthesis? Okay, so if our stack is empty, like if our stack is empty, okay, then we have to check for two cases that whether our I plus 1 character is an opening parenthesis or a closing parenthesis. If it's a closing parenthesis, if our I plus 1 if a character at I plus 1 is a closing parenthesis, then we just don't have to do anything, we just count plus plus, because we just have to add one opening parenthesis, okay, just to make the string balance, because we know that we have this string, just we have to add one opening parenthesis, okay, in order to make the string balance. And we just do I plus equals to 2 because we just now move at I plus third index. Okay, but what if our I plus 1 character is not a closing parenthesis? Then we have to add count plus equals to 2 and we just do I plus plus because because the character at I plus 2 is an opening parenthesis. Okay, this also handles that case when our I plus 1 character is when the position but what if the I plus 1 character is out of bound? Let's say we have this closing parenthesis, then it will be out of bound, right? So then we have to make sure that I plus 1 is in the bounds of string. okay. And if it also handles the case like when we have only one closing parenthesis, then we go to the else part and we just add count plus plus, and we just count plus equals to 2, and we just add I plus plus. So this is all about when stack is empty. But what if stack is not empty? That means we have one opening parenthesis. Okay, that means we have one opening parenthesis just before the closing parenthesis. Okay, so and now we, in this case also we have two cases when I plus 1, where the character I plus 1 character is an is a should is a closing parenthesis, and if it's not. So if it is a closing parenthesis, we just don't have to do anything, we just have to do I plus equals to 2. Okay, but if it's not a closing parenthesis, then we just have to add a closing parenthesis here, and we just have to do I plus plus. Okay, okay. And we just have to also make sure that I plus 1 character is in the bounds of the string, and if it's not in the bounds of the string, then we just have to do it also handle that case too, because we just have to do I count plus plus and I plus plus. Yeah, and also make sure that for when the string when the stack is not empty, we just also pop out the last opening parenthesis from the stack. So that's it. We just return in the end answer. And okay, like count, we took count, and count equals to 0. Yeah, sorry, I just forgot one more case where like we don't have any closing parenthesis, we just have like what if in the end we don't have an empty stack, like we have followed by with couple of opening parentheses. All right, so here for all opening parentheses we should add two closing parentheses. So while our stack is not empty, we just have to pop the stack, and we just have to count plus equals to 2. Yes, so all right, okay, 10312 and let me submit it. Accepted. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you got the solution of this problem. See you in the next video.